able to look at the tape and see exactly what your stats are. Don't be shy about what your stats are, man. How many of us want to go out there and we want to lose weight? How many of us say, you know what, I gotta lose weight, I want to get smaller, but we're scared to step on a scale and look at where we are in the first place? Don't be scared, man. You can get to your journey, but you gotta be realistic and gotta start somewhere. Embrace the start and go for yours. First of all, let's thank God for the blessing of a brand new day and the opportunity to once again enhance self. God could have made your whole life one sunrise and one sunset, but he chose to break it down. So no matter how dark it has been, today you have been blessed with the light of another day. And I want to talk about the fact that so many of my guys out there working to accomplish what they want to accomplish with Mud2TheSubs, they, sometimes they have a chip on their shoulder. Sometimes they just kind of got shorthanded in life. And sometimes you just got to write a letter and address those situations and understand that you can still be successful regardless. How many of us didn't have a father because he was killed in the streets, or didn't have a father because he was in the streets, or didn't have a father because he was, banned in jail for almost all of our lives? So sometimes you just got to write that letter and say, dear Dad, I'm a man now and I learned some things. In order to have a gratitude attitude, you got to be thankful, even though a lot of the things or all of the things you've learned, he had nothing to do with teaching you. Dear Dad, I learned that why is important. I learned that if I don't have a why and a purpose of what I'm doing, I can't truly be my best. They say each and every morning in Africa, the lion wakes up. He knows he must outrun the slowest gazelle or he's going to starve. Each and every morning in Africa, the gazelle wakes up. He knows he must outrun the fastest lion or he will be eaten. See, Dad, whether I'm a lion or a gazelle, I must wake up and start running. I have to decide, what is my reason for running today? And that lesson I learned without my pop. Dear Dad, I learned that you don't have to beat your children. You don't need a leather belt. You don't have to catch them coming out the shower. You don't have to beat them late at night. You can talk to them. You can communicate with them. You can chastise them. And you can still maintain all the respect you deserve as a father without that weapon. That's a lesson I learned as a man, and you didn't teach me that. Dear Dad, I also learned that, no matter how much you don't want trouble and how much you try to mind your business and how much you try to stay out the way, as they say, trouble is still coming. And when it comes, it's time to stand up and fear nothing but Allah. There is no way to go through life talking about you don't want no trouble, because life says sometimes trouble is just going to be a part of it. That's a lesson that I learned, but you wasn't there to teach me that. Dear Dad, I learned the true definition of masculinity. When I was young, I didn't know. But when I got older, I understood exactly what masculinity was. And what masculinity is the ability to control your own emotions. Because if I don't control my own emotions, then my mind is like a mustard seed rolling around on a plate. Whichever way the wind blows is which way I goes. And when I have emotional turmoil like that, like a lot of females, that doesn't make me feminine and that doesn't make me gay. But what that will make me is dangerous. I learned that lesson, but you weren't able to teach me. Dear Dad, I learned that boys need their father. Period. They just need him, regardless of what she got to say. They need their father, because when you remove the father in the home, then the road to becoming a man becomes so unclear. So they need him a lot. And I learned that lesson, Dad, but you weren't able to teach me. Dear Dad, I also learned no matter how much I hit the weights, how big and strong I get, or how much money I get, it's always somebody that's bigger and stronger. It's always somebody with more money. I realized that no matter how poor I feel, Dad, guess what? It's always somebody that's more poor than I am. That's a fact. That just means that in life, where I am is where I am. I can change it, but these are the cards I've been dealt. And no matter how bad I feel about them, somebody got worse. And no matter how good I feel about it, somebody got better. It is what it is. That's a lesson I learned, but you weren't there to teach me. Dear Dad, I also understand that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter that you was poor when you was young. You can be wealthy when you're older. See, where you come from doesn't dictate your outcome. Regardless of the small-minded people like teachers who put obstacles in our way, we can still overcome and become whatever it is that we want to become. That's a lesson that I learned, but you weren't there to teach me. So when I have all these lessons I've learned and all this manhood I've embraced, and my dad didn't teach me any of it, how do I maintain a gratitude attitude? Because at the end of the day, Dad, I'm thankful that you made a decision to have me with your mom, and the role that you played in me becoming a man at all, I'm just so thankful for. How many of us have to have that conversation either with our father or with some chip on our shoulder so we can begin to let go? And if you let go, then you can grow and you can accomplish your dreams. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Able to look at the tape and see exactly what your stats are. Don't be shy about what your stats are, man. How many of us want to go out there and we want to lose weight? How many of us say, you know what, I gotta lose weight, I want to get smaller, but we're scared to step on a scale and look at where we are in the first place? Don't be scared, man. You can get to your journey, but you gotta be realistic and gotta start somewhere. Embrace the start and go for yours.